I'm Dr. Marta Katalenas. I'm a pediatrician, and I'm talking to you from Austin, Texas. Today, like always, we're going to give you some health advice and also some recipes, and teaching you and showing you how to take care of your family and how to improve their immune system. And today, we're going to talk about the probiotics. Is a subject of many opinions, and we're going to go over some of them, and hopefully I will be able to clarify some of the questions that you may have. And I am here with my friends Fer and Veronica.
Hi,
Hello, ladies.
Marta.
How are you doing?
Hi, Marta. I'm Fer, Candil, a chef from Paellas Tapas Amor, and a mother of 5. And I'm very excited with the topic we are talking about today because I really don't know a lot about probiotics, and I think it's going to be very interesting. I don't know if there's a lot of myths or just some thoughts the people pre-existing about the probiotics, or if there are some natural things we have in our body or something we have to take from the out resources. So I'm sure you are going to clarify all of these things. And so glad to have with us Veronica. Hi, Veronica. How are you today?
Hi, Marta. Hi, Fer. I'm Vero. I'm mom to 3 kids. One of them is 5. Then I have 2 girls. One of them is 4, and the other one is a baby. She's 14 months. So I'm also very interested in this topic. Sometimes we think probiotics are useful for almost everything. So I'd like Marta, first of all, to explain to us what really probiotics are and when can we use them and what for.
Well, I have to tell you, ladies, that this is not my favorite subject. It's not, because when something has been talked about for so long, so many opinions, different opinions given, and some of them claiming that the probiotics are good for everything, then you know that cannot be the truth. And this is the case with these probiotics. What are they? Well, they are microorganisms. They are bacteria, and they live in our intestine, all over the intestine, and they help with digestion, but they also help our immune system. So we know that more than 70% of the immune system is located around the intestine. And it makes sense if you think about it, because all areas of the body where there's communication between the inside and the outside, you always have lymphatic tissue, like around the mouth, you have the tonsils, you have lymph nodes around your neck, around your ears. So the intestine is a very important location where we introduce food every day. And so the immune system, the lymphatic tissue, is all over our intestine. And these microorganisms, these probiotics, they interact with the immune system, with the immune tissue, and they promote it. They make it function better. Because they have very few side effects, they are, in general, I have to say, in general, safe to use, but not 100%. I have to mention that there are conditions where you should not be using probiotics. Like, for example, if you are on chemotherapy, if your immune system is compromised because of any other chronic problem, if you have chronic inflammation of your intestine, if you have had surgery on your intestines, if you're having a heart valve problem. And so the advice is always, anything, any supplement, any vitamin, any probiotic that you take, always check with your doctor. Always take the little box and show and say, okay, can I take these? Is it safe? In the majority of the cases, yes, it's going to be safe, but we don't have enough scientific evidence that the probiotics help as much as people claim to make us believe.
So, Marta, I don't know if it is a mythic or not, but is true or not that the probiotics helping to avoid the colics in the lactants or in the babies on that time? Because there is something worry a lot, especially mothers of baby girls. I don't know why usually baby girls has more colics than boys. I don't know. But I think it's is true. So the probiotics can help to avoid or to pass these colics, these frequent colics, or what can you tell us about that?
Well, and that's one of the areas where there is no scientific evidence. And first of all, because colic is such a general term right now, we don't even know exactly what colic is. We call colic a variety of symptoms. In the past, and I've been practicing for almost 30 years, so I know the difference between a few years from now, 20 years ago, and now. We used to see more colic. Colic, because at that time we had a lot of milk intolerance, gastrointestinal issues related to the milk that the baby was taking, or the food that the mom was taking, or that the baby was taking, reflux, things that were not described, and now we know, and we know how to take care of them before the child becomes colicky. And so we don't see, I in my practice don't see as much colic as I used to. And when parents come and they tell me now they have this vitamin D that they should give to babies, and they come with a probiotic. Okay, it's okay. If it's a healthy baby, go ahead and give it. The placebo effect with probiotics is huge. And again, without scientific evidence, I cannot tell you, yes, it's helping because this is how it's acting, but is in that age group, it is generally safe to use. And some people claim that it does help. The good thing with colic is that it goes away by 3 months of age. So usually we say, oh, the last thing we did is what helped. And maybe in some cases that immaturity of the digestive system is what causes the colic, and that goes away after about 3 months of age.
Yeah, I have another question. So is it possible to say that probiotics help with gastroenteritis or stomach flus? Mm-hmm. And then I have another question, which is about rotavirus. And I'm not sure if here the vaccine is called Rotatec. In Spanish, it's called Rotatec, so I'm not sure. In Spanish, that's an optional vaccination, but here I believe it's within the vaccine calendar in Texas. So I want you to explain if probiotics are helpful with gastroenteritis, and if you recommend the Rotatec vaccine for little ones.
Very, very important questions. Yes. So gastroenteritis in general is one of the indications probably what I will say to the parents, yes, go ahead and use some probiotics. So gastroenteritis, meaning the most common one is the viral one. The child has diarrhea for a few days because of a virus. And then after having the diarrhea, or during the process of the diarrhea, if you give some probiotics, it may actually help to, it makes sense, right? So if you are losing all that stool and with it, all the intestinal flora, the good bacteria, it makes sense to replace it, to replenish it. And so that's one of the circumstances where I will say, yes, go ahead and use it if there is no other contraindications like the ones we mentioned. So definitely, yes, that would be a yes answer. Rotatec, rotavirus vaccine, yes, is being available for a number of years now. I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years. It helps a lot. Rotavirus is a winter virus, and although it doesn't give you problems later on, or the vaccine doesn't give you any protection beyond that initial stages of your life, it does protect because that dehydration that the virus causes and causes hospitalizations and death, yes, in children, the vaccine helps with that. And I can tell you that before Rotatec, I, in my practice, had every winter 4 or 5 kids hospitalized with rotavirus, very common, especially in daycares. Since the vaccine came along, I don't remember when I had a child hospitalized with rotavirus. So yes, definitely recommend it.
And I have another question, Marta. Always many questions for you, but I think we are learning a lot. We are learning a lot. So is the same, or what is the difference between prebiotics or probiotics? Because I heard both words, and I'm sure they are totally different functions, no?
Yes. So prebiotics are the food that feeds the microorganisms, the probiotics. And so these organisms, in order to grow and develop, they need an environment that is appropriate for that, and they need some food, and that comes from undigested fiber. Usually food that provides fiber is a prebiotic. It's going to promote the growth of the microorganisms. So any vegetables, fruits, specifically bananas, but legumes, lentils, even things like garlic, leeks, artichokes. I mean, the list is endless. And it goes back to what we always say. Where do we get probiotics? Where do we get prebiotics? From food. That would be the ideal way, and one won't eliminate the other. So you cannot say, well, I'm taking these supplements, already has probiotics and prebiotics, so I'm going to eat whatever. Well, chemicals in the food will destroy the microflora of the intestine. And so we have to, that's why we always, in this group at least, we say, prepare the food at home. You know what ingredients you are putting there. You're not adding any chemicals. And so it makes sense to obtain all these necessary nutrients from the food. The first and main, the more important prebiotic is breast milk. And so during that first year of life, breast milk will be the one. After that, just introducing a healthy diet with fruits, vegetables, legumes, variety of food.
That's great. And I know you have a great recipe, recipe about yogurt and fruit, and it's your favorite, and it's the one you recommended always, and it's so simple. Can you share with us? Could you share with us?
Yes, sure. Yes, I wanted to tell you that, well, one of the main probiotics that we all know about and is in all cultures is yogurt. It's easy to make. You can make it at home. One day you'll show us how to teach us how to make it at home, but it's basically fermented milk, right? So every culture has their own. And the problem I have with yogurt in our culture here in the United States is that it is difficult to find plain yogurt. You can buy it in a big tub, but you don't have the individual 6-ounce yogurts that are plain, like in Europe, in other countries they have. And so that's because the use is not that popular. People don't eat plain yogurt that much. So we eat the variety, that the commercial variety with a lot of sugar. So at the end, I don't know. That's why I think this recipe of mine, I like it better, which is the following.
Go ahead.
You get just plain yogurt, big tub, you have it in the refrigerator. And then you get whatever fruits you have around the house, even frozen strawberries, blackberries, bananas. Bananas add a lot of flavor there. Just put it in the blender and make a big mixture of all of them and put them in the refrigerator too. Now, when you want to make a yogurt, you just take a little cup of the yogurt and add a few spoonfuls of the fruit mixture. So you have the probiotic, which is the yogurt, and you have the prebiotic, which is the fruits, that add fiber. So is the taste of plain yogurt takes time to get used to. And if it doesn't happen during the first 2 years of life, I am brave enough to say that it may not happen. So you better introduce kids to the flavor, to the taste, to the texture of plain yogurt now, early. And you'll be surprised how later on they may just prefer the plain yogurt, maybe with a little bit of honey or maybe with a mixture of fruits that I was telling you, rather than the commercial one that tastes completely different.
And now in summer it's perfect because we have a lot of really sweet fruits like apricots, peaches, cherries, many fruits, and summer is great to do that. Are you doing that with your kids, Veronica?
Yeah, well, my kids are, all my 3 kids eat natural plain yogurt, and they've been having that kind of yogurt since they were babies, so they are totally used to that flavor. But I agree with Marta that if you don't start early introducing that kind of sour dairy flavor, then they might reject it. I feel like some of the families just go for other options that include sugar, just because of the commercial presentation. They like these little tubes or these little pouches that you can carry in your bag. But I have good news. You can buy in Amazon or in other, well, sorry for saying a commercial website, but you can buy wherever. You can buy these pouches that are reusable, and you can fill them with whatever you make in the house. You can fill them with natural yogurt and fruits. You can put in there your fruit puree. I wouldn't recommend using them with hot puree because they are plastic and it may feel like weird and too hot for the baby to hold. But there's reusable pouches that you can use, and you can fill them up with things that you make at home and things that you know will have inside. So I'd recommend that.
It's a great idea. I love it, Veronica. Wow.
That's what I use. Yeah. Like I have tried a few brands, and they are pretty easy to clean, and they last for a long time. Like I've had the same set for 2 years now, I guess. So I guess it's even like a way to save money, because usually presentations for kids are even more expensive than other.
Oh yeah, those little tubes of yogurt.
Yes,
that's very expensive, and
yes.
It's very sugary. It won't teach the child anything. And I like your idea because yogurt transports well. Like if you want to introduce it for your kids' afternoon snack, well, it goes well because it's already fermented milk, so can stay out of the refrigerator for a while, because that's how it's created, by being out of the refrigerator. So I like that idea.
And anyway, most moms carry with them a lunch bag, and sometimes they have ice packs inside or whatever. Like if you're gonna be out in the hot, maybe you will need an ice pack, but if you're gonna be inside, if you're going to a friend's house and it's just gonna be out of the refrigerator for a few hours, as Marta says, it should be safe for your kid to have that yogurt, even if it hasn't been in the fridge for 2 hours. So exactly. It's fine.
Well, now I'm curious to know, what are we going to learn today? Because I'm ready to take notes and to learn a new recipe.
Yeah, it's a good job, Veronica. The last day when we're talking about healthy snacks, I left one of the recipes to give you, because I think it's going to be so much. But I can't resist to share with you this recipe, because I think it's matched perfectly with the topic today about the probiotics, because it's going to be a cake or bread with no sugar and no flour. So we are going to use oats and bananas and peanut butter. So the ingredients we are going to use is a chocolate chip bread. You can add chocolate chip if you like it, or if your kid has enough age to eat it, chocolate, but it's totally optional. Also, you can add some pieces of pecans if you like it, but it's totally optional too. So the ingredients are gonna be 1 cup of dark chocolate chips, 2 cups of old-fashioned oats, or ground oats, just ready to use, like a meal. You can have both. 3-4 ripe bananas, the ones you don't want to use, that's perfect to use for that. 1 cup of peanut butter, and 1/2 cup of pecans in pieces. So it's so easy. If you have old-fashioned oats, you can crush on the blender and make like a ground meal. And in the same blender, just add big pieces of bananas, the peanut butter, and mix well to make like a smooth, like a dough, and put in a bowl and add the pecans and the chocolate chips. So preheat the oven, 350 Fahrenheit, grease cake mold or plate, oven plate, and just pour all the dough and set well with a little shaking over the countertop, and keep in the oven for 30 minutes, and that's all. So when you use your toothpick to verify if it is wet or it's just cooked, it's just ready. So depends of your oven, it's gonna be 30-35 minutes. and after remove from the oven, just put in a rack and let cool for 10-15 minutes. The best way to keep in a good shape this cake or bread is just wrap it in plastic film and keep on the fridge. Or you can cut in pieces and freezer. So if you froze this cake, it's gonna be perfect for 2-3 weeks for your kids. And I think it's a great snack and easy to eat, easy to wear in a plastic bag, and with a lot of probiotics, natural probiotics. And I think the best thing is you don't have to use additional sugar or flour or any dairy. So I think it's a good cake or a good bread to start with the kids who are starting with solid foods. And it's a good snack. So I hope you like it and enjoy.
I'm gonna make it today.
Oh
Yeah.
too. I'm gonna make
Yes,
it.
it's very funny because I was planning to make banana bread today
Ah.
because Alvaro has been asking me to make some for the last couple of days, and I have some bananas just ready.
Yeah.
They can't be used for anything else really, just like for banana bread or some
A smoothie.
yeah, or a smoothie.
Smoothie or ice cream.
Sometimes what I do is I use them for ice cream. I cut them and then I put them in the freezer, and then you just like put them in the blender and you get a really natural ice cream. So that's really my other go-to option. But we are craving banana bread, so I'm making your.
And I'm gonna tell you, Veronica, I tried the roll-ups, the strawberry roll-ups with dates.
Oh,
Ooh.
and did it work?
Works perfectly.
Oh my!
Great,
that's
great. I ate all the roll-ups. I don't have it at home, but it's my snack. So when I feel tired, or like I need something, because some days you feel like so tired. I don't know why. Probably the sugar is going down or something. And yesterday I said, oh, I have my roll-ups in the fridge, and I made with dates and strawberry because I was curious. And all the suggestions that people give me, I like to try and know if it works or not. And it works great. So just 3-4 dates, works perfectly with the strawberries. And it was really, really good. And keep on the fridge for 2 weeks perfectly.
I'm gonna make them too. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you for trying.
It's a really good candy. Okay, girls, so it was great to see you this week again, and we have more topics coming to talk for the next weeks. So take care of yourself, enjoy the summertime, and see you next week.
Thank you, ladies, and we'll talk again next week. Yes.
Thank you, Fer. Thank you, Marta. Have a good week. Take care.
Bye.
Take care.